7 strange signs she's into you deep down. Female attraction psychology uncovered. Psychology tricks. Gentlemen, welcome back to the Stoic Path. I'm Amelia, and today we're decoding something most men think they understand, but quietly get wrong every single day. The strange, hidden signs a woman is actually into you. Not the over-the-top movie stuff. Not the Instagram flirting or the she liked my story games. I'm talking about the subtle, psychological signals she gives off without realizing it, especially when she's trying not to be obvious. Because here's the reality. Women almost never walk up and say, "I like you." Instead, their attraction slips out in tiny habits, odd reactions, and little patterns most men never notice. And when you miss those signals, some other guy doesn't, and he walks right into the moment that could have been yours. There's a line I love. The heart has its reasons which reason knows nothing of. Blaise Pascal. That's exactly what we're uncovering today, the quiet reasons behind her strange behavior. By the end of this video, you'll know 7 unusual psychological signs she's drawn to you deep down. How to recognize them fast in real time. What to do the moment you notice the first sign. Simple eye contact moves that amplify her attraction. And 1 fake sign men misread all the time that can sabotage everything. So get comfortable, pay close attention, and don't zone out, because when it comes to attraction, gentlemen, what looks like weirdness is almost never an accident. 7. She glances at you every chance she gets. And don't fool yourself into thinking it's random. Women are far less confusing than men assume because their minds run on patterns, emotional context, and tiny microsignals that say far more than their words ever will, and one of the clearest giveaways. One you must learn to read if you want to understand female psychology and finally unlock how to fall in love in a mature, confident way is the glance, that quick flash of awareness she tries to hide but never fully controls. When you catch her looking at you and she snaps her head away like she just got caught sneaking cookies at 2 a.m., don't ignore it. Don't overanalyze it. Don't be the guy who misreads what is practically a spotlight beamed straight at him. That reflexive glance away is not shyness, not coincidence, not some mysterious code. It's attraction showing itself before she can stop it, and women do not spend their gaze on someone they don't care about even a little. Picture the moment clearly. You're sitting at a cafe, minding your own business, thinking about your day, when suddenly you feel that subtle but unmistakable tension in the air, the sense that someone is watching you with just a little too much interest. You look up, your eyes meet hers for half a second, maybe even less, but the energy is unmistakable. Then boom, she pretends her phone is the most fascinating invention ever created, tapping it with that totally not looking at you kind of enthusiasm that would fool no one with even basic psychology tricks under his belt. Men misread this scenario constantly because they panic, they shrink, they look away too fast, or they doubt what their intuition already knows. Don't do that. Be steady. Be grounded. You must hold your gaze for half a beat, not a stare down, not a challenge, just a calm acknowledgement that you noticed her noticing you. That is the moment where confidence separates itself from confusion. Because here's what most men never realize. If she looked once, she will look again. Women peek in patterns. They check again just to verify the spark, to see if your energy feels safe, warm, or interesting. This is female psychology working quietly in the background, and when you understand this, you understand how to fall in love by actually recognizing the signals instead of stumbling past them. So when that second glance happens, and trust me, it almost always does if she's attracted, don't miss the chance to respond in a way that opens the door rather than slamming it shut. Smile. Not the oversized grin that looks like you rehearsed it in the mirror. Not the overly confident smirk that tries too hard. Just a warm, grounded, human smile, the kind that says, "I see you, and I'm not afraid of this moment." When she smiles back, that is permission. That is her subtle but unmistakable green light. And you must not ignore it. Don't hesitate. Don't let fear talk you out of what is clearly unfolding. Hesitation kills attraction faster than rejection ever could, because hesitation says you're unsure, unprepared, and unwilling to step forward when the moment invites you. Understand this. Women feel attraction in waves, and when you respond confidently and calmly, you reinforce the wave instead of interrupting it. If you wait too long, overthink, or pretend you didn't notice, you disrupt the rhythm her instincts were building with you. Use simple psychology tricks to read the moment, her breath shifting, her posture becoming more open, her attempt to look casual even though the spark already happened, and trust that none of this is random. She glances because she's curious. She glances again because she's interested. She smiles because she's giving you a chance. And all of this leads toward how to fall in love in a natural, honest, grown man kind of way, where you're not guessing or playing games, but simply responding to what's right in front of you. So don't look away too fast. Don't break the moment. Be the man who knows how to interpret the signals without getting lost in them. That is how you turn a simple glance into a genuine connection, by recognizing the pattern, respecting the moment, and stepping forward with calm certainty instead of doubt. 6. She shows up glammed up around you. Men rarely grasp the real psychology behind female appearance, not because it's complicated, but because women make it look effortless. They don't just pick an outfit the way a guy grabs the first clean shirt he finds. They choose based on who they'll see, where they'll be, and what emotional impression they want to create. That is intentional. That is strategic. And you must understand it if you ever want to move like a high-value man who knows how to attract women with genuine masculine energy. So when she suddenly shows up looking noticeably more polished, glowing in a way you didn't expect, with her outfit styled just right, her hair smoother than usual, and her whole presence upgraded on the exact day she knows you'll be there, it's not coincidence. Don't dismiss that moment. Don't be the guy who shrugs and says, "Oh, she just likes dressing cute." Wrong. Women don't randomly elevate their appearance without a reason, and certainly not without an audience. They upgrade for one specific person. And if that person is standing right in front of them, you'd better believe it means something. Evolutionary psychology has been telling us this for decades. Humans present their best selves when they seek acceptance, connection, status, or romance. Women, especially, use visual cues to communicate interest long before words ever enter the room. A woman who is attracted wants to be seen. A woman interested in a high-value man naturally amplifies her presence to signal compatibility and spark chemistry. Her grooming, her confidence, her style, these are not random details. They're invitations wrapped in aesthetics. Now here's a truth that may sting a little, but you must hear it to grow. When she doesn't care how she looks around you, when there's zero effort, no spark, no preparation, no intention, she isn't trying to impress you. That doesn't mean she dislikes you, but she isn't investing energy into the possibility of romance. And energy matters. A man with authentic masculine energy understands this without taking it personally. So compare her appearance around you to how she looks around random male friends. Be honest. Be observant. If she puts in noticeably more effort when she knows she'll see you, more carefully chosen outfits, subtle but flawless makeup, that confident walk that appears when she feels desirable, then you're on her mind in ways she hasn't spoken out loud yet. That contrast is a signal. Don't ignore it. A high-value man never overlooks patterns that clearly show when he attracts women without needing to chase. And in American culture especially, subtle grooming changes are powerful clues. Fresh nails, a new perfume you've never smelled on her before, styled hair that took time, lip gloss that catches the light at the exact moment you look at her. These are not small things. These are quiet invitations, unspoken messages that say, "I want you to notice me. I want you to look twice." Women communicate attraction in layers, often through aesthetics because it feels safe, because it allows them to test your awareness without risking rejection outright. When you tune in, you will see just how deliberate these details really are. But here's where a lot of men misread the situation. If she shows up to a movie night wearing comfy sweats, don't panic. Don't assume attraction has faded. Don't misinterpret comfort as disinterest. Comfort is emotional safety. Comfort is chemistry stabilizing. Comfort is the place where real connection begins. A woman who feels free to relax around you is showing a different kind of intimacy, not the performance of attraction, but the trust within it. And trust is the soil where long-term attraction grows. That is where masculine energy truly thrives. However, and pay attention here, the first few meetings, the early stages, she will show up as her most polished, radiant, intentional self. Because that's how women express early interest. That's how they test whether you are a high-value man who knows how to read cues, respond confidently, and attract women without fumbling the moment. The beginning is when she reveals her spark. Later, she reveals her softness. Both matter. Both tell you something. So don't overlook her effort. Don't underestimate the courage it takes for a woman to express interest through beauty, grooming, and subtle styling choices. Be aware. Be steady. Recognize the quiet brilliance in how she communicates. And most importantly, let your masculine energy rise to meet hers. Because when a woman shows up glowing for you, she's not just dressing up. She's signaling possibility. She's testing compatibility. She's giving you the chance to step into the role of the confident, high-value man she hopes you might be. If you truly understand what this means, when a woman elevates her appearance for you, she's revealing her interest before she ever says a word, then claim it. Drop a comment right now. I recognize the signs, and I rise to meet them. Like this video, subscribe for more grounded, unshakable insight, and remember, effort isn't random. It's a signal. Use it. 5. Her friends act weirdly friendly around you. When a woman is truly drawn to you, her world shifts in small, revealing ways, and one of the most powerful signs, often overlooked by men, is how her friends suddenly become unusually warm, unusually welcoming, unusually tuned into your presence. Because when a woman likes you, her inner circle senses it long before you do, and they act as her silent, emotional guardians, her subtle approval system, her quiet support network. This is where Old Stoic wisdom reminds us that what stands in the way becomes the way, meaning the clues are right in front of you if you train your iron mind to notice what others ignore, because her friends will smile more, lean in more, include you in their group jokes, give you that knowing look when you speak to her, and sometimes even tease her lightly when you're near. Small gestures, yes, but powerful indicators of interest that ripple beneath the surface, and as Marcus Aurelius wrote, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. So recognize these signs with calm confidence, not overanalysis, because their behavior signals that you are now officially a topic in their group chat, a subject of whispered approvals. A man being quietly evaluated as a potential contender for her emotional world, and understanding this dynamic will help you walk with the clarity that Stoicism Win is not just a philosophy, but a strategy for modern dating. Observe without desperation, respond without haste, and act with steady purpose. In today's world, fast, digital, chaotic, women still rely on their closest friends as trusted advisors, and if her friends are warm, open, and subtly encouraging, you've passed an invisible test, one many men never even realize they're taking. But here's the instruction you must internalize with an iron mind. Never flirt with her friends, never compare them, never use them for attention or validation, because loyalty is not optional. It's the foundation on which attraction either deepens or collapses, and women are highly attuned to loyalty signals, scanning your behavior not to judge you, but to protect themselves from emotional risk. Her friends act like mirrors, reflecting the vibe she feels around you. If they become awkward, cold, or dismissive, understand that they have already given her a quiet warning, a private review, and though you may not know what was said, the result is unmistakable. You've lost ground without ever saying a word. Yet this is where modern men often fail. They react emotionally, interpret rejection personally, or push harder at the wrong moment, when in reality, the Stoic path teaches that strength comes from restraint, that he who angers you conquers you. And your goal is not to win over her friends through charm, but to win through consistency, respect, and presence. When her friends like you, it means she feels safe liking you. When they soften, she softens. When they root for you, she becomes more open to the possibilities she's already imagining deep down. So treat their friendliness as a green light, but not an invitation to perform, because the true power move is to remain grounded, composed, unshaken, an example of Stoicism win in real time. In modern life, confidence often gets mistaken for loudness or bravado, but real confidence is quiet, controlled, intentional. It's the ability to stand in a room with her friends watching, smiling, analyzing, and remain perfectly comfortable in your own skin. This is how you impress without trying, attract without forcing, win without chasing. Remember, attraction is not only between you and her, it is shaped by the ecosystem around her, the support system she trusts, the emotional advisors she confides in daily. When they approve of you, your chances multiply. When they don't, even strong attraction can fade. So move through this dynamic like a man with an iron mind, aware of the signals, but not ruled by them. Guided by Old Stoic wisdom that teaches mastery over the self is mastery over life. Keep your focus on being steady, genuine, and intentional, because that is the energy women talk about when you're not around. That is the presence that makes her friends smile in her direction. And that is the behavior that turns you from just another man into the man who stands out. In the end, victory in relationships, like victory in life, comes from reading the room, trusting your instincts, and acting with purpose. And when you can do that, the path becomes clear, the signals become unmistakable, and you step into a version of yourself that not only attracts her but elevates you, proving once again that when you apply Stoicism win principles, when you strengthen your iron mind, you don't just navigate the dating world, you master it. 4. She unconsciously mimics you. And this is where things get beautifully strange in the best way. Straight from the heart of female psychology and years of behavioral studies, when a woman feels drawn to you on a deeper level, her subconscious doesn't ask for permission, it simply begins to sync with you. Don't ignore this. Be aware of it, because it's one of those quiet psychology tricks nature slips into human bonding. She mirrors your posture, your facial expressions, your tone, even the little quirks in your vocabulary, not because she's trying to copy like some calculated strategy, but because her brain is reaching out, trying to build a bridge without saying a word. That is the beauty of limbic synchrony, two nervous systems trying to dance before either person consciously agrees to the music. When she starts adopting your expressions, your gestures, or even your style of laughing, the timing, the pitch, the rhythm, that's not coincidence. That's connection. You must not overlook it. It's subtle, it's soft, but it's real. This is female psychology in its purest form, whispering louder than any confession she could say out loud. Don't make the mistake of assuming mirroring is accidental. Be observant, because no one mimics someone they don't feel comfortable with. When she begins to shift her energy to match yours, that's her subconscious saying, I feel safe with you. I feel drawn to you. I feel something moving. And the deeper it goes, the less control she has over it. That's why researchers call it involuntary attunement, the emotional version of leaning in closer without realizing you're doing it. Now try a simple experiment, and don't make it complicated. Say something using subtle slang she doesn't normally use, maybe a playful phrase you drop naturally or a small verbal habit you never thought twice about. Then wait. If she uses it later, especially when she isn't thinking about impressing you, that's your answer. Bingo. You just witnessed synchrony in action. She didn't plan it, she didn't rehearse it, and she definitely didn't analyze it. Her mind simply borrowed your language because you've become part of her emotional landscape. Don't underestimate how powerful that is. This is one of those rare psychology tricks that doesn't require any manipulation. It only requires awareness. And when you understand it, you understand a huge part of how to fall in love, because love often begins in the unconscious, long before anyone dares to speak it out loud. Mirroring is not about flattery, it's about resonance. It's her way of showing alignment without breaking her guard too soon. That is why you must pay attention, especially if you're trying to understand female psychology or decode the deeper signs behind her behavior. Most men miss this because they're too focused on what she says. Don't. Watch what she echoes instead. The fascinating part is that mimicking goes beyond words. It reaches posture. If you cross your arms and moments later, she lightly crosses hers, not stiffly, not defensively, just naturally, that's attunement. If you lean in and she leans in too, even slightly, that's her emotional center leaning with you. If you tilt your head while listening and she tilts hers in the same direction, that is limbic alignment unfolding right in front of you. Don't brush it off thinking everyone does that. No, they don't. People only mirror those they feel connected to or want connection with. And when a woman mirrors a man she's attracted to, her body is doing the brave work her words might still be too shy to manage. It's the unsaid truth revealing itself. So the next time you're around her, don't rush, don't push, just notice. Notice whether she picks up your rhythm, your speech patterns, your energy. Notice whether she unconsciously syncs her reactions with yours. Notice how her laughter starts matching yours, not because she's trying to please you, but because the emotional currents between you are aligning. This is one of the oldest, most reliable, and most charming signs of attraction. And yes, it's one of the purest signals on Earth, because no one can fake what they don't even realize they're doing. When you understand this, you understand a crucial part of how to fall in love, not just how love looks on the surface, but how it forms beneath it, in the tiny unspoken rhythms two people slowly begin to share. If this opened your eyes, hit like, drop a comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe for more hidden psychology insights. Comment to remember, attraction speaks loudest when the body mirrors what the heart feels. 3. Her eyes blink more when she talks to you. And this one is far more revealing than most men realize. Most people blink around 6 to 10 times per minute, a rhythm so steady it becomes invisible. But when a woman feels emotionally stirred, intrigued, or pulled into your masculine energy, that calm rhythm changes. Her blinking rate increases, her pupils subtly widen, and her eyes linger just a heartbeat longer. Why? Because the nervous system doesn't lie. When someone matters, the body reacts before the mind even forms a sentence. That is the truth hidden behind those rapid fluttering blinks. It's her biology whispering what her words may still be too shy to say. Be smart about this. Don't turn into the guy who stares at her like a malfunctioning stopwatch, trying to count her blinks as if he's running a covert operation. Don't. That misses the point entirely. You must observe patterns, not scan for numbers. Look at how she behaves around others first. That is your baseline. Does she blink slowly, casually, with a relaxed face and an easy, predictable pace? Does her gaze wander without pressure? Good, that's her neutral state. Now compare that to how she is around you. If her blinking becomes quicker, if her pupils open wider like she's trying to take more of you in, if her eye contact holds longer than polite conversation requires, that's interest. That's her nervous system lighting up because your presence shifts something inside her. And here's the subtle magic. This reaction isn't about confusion or stress. It's often about excitement, emotional charge, and chemistry she's trying not to reveal too obviously. This is where understanding how to be a high-value man truly matters, because a woman's nervous system reacts strongest not to flashy behavior, but to grounded masculine energy, the kind that feels stable, confident, present. Don't ignore the power of presence. A high-value man doesn't crowd her space. He doesn't lean in like he's trying to steal a clue. He observes calmly, lightly, with curiosity. That is what helps you attract women with ease. Not force, not overthinking, but awareness. And awareness is a rare skill, especially in a world full of distractions. Be the man who sees what others overlook, and you win without ever chasing. Now, understand something essential. Eye behavior is one of the oldest communication systems on Earth. Long before language existed, humans read each other's eyes to detect safety, interest, attraction, or danger. Our nervous systems have been trained for thousands of years to react to faces, especially the eyes. That is why blinking matters. Increased blinking means heightened emotion. And heightened emotion around you means something about your presence stirs her energy. Maybe it's your calm demeanor. Maybe it's your quiet confidence. Maybe it's the effortless way you occupy your space. These are traits of a high-value man, and whether she consciously acknowledges it or not, her body does. Her physiology responds faster than her logic. But don't misinterpret every fast blink as attraction. Be intentional. Be observant. Compare before concluding. Watch how she behaves with her friends, with strangers, with colleagues. Women often operate in social rhythms, but their emotional rhythms shift only when someone triggers something deeper. If she blinks a little faster only when talking to you, that's interest. If her eyes soften as you speak, that's curiosity. If her pupils enlarge when you walk into the room, that's instinctive pull. These are the raw, unfiltered signs that help you attract women naturally, not by performing, but by understanding the subtle language they speak without sound. And here's something men over 35 truly need to hear. A woman's eyes will always tell you more than her words when she's trying to stay composed. Don't rely solely on what she says. Rely on what her body reveals. Women are masters at maintaining politeness, protecting their emotions, and keeping a calm exterior. But blinking is involuntary. She cannot script it. She cannot rehearse it. She cannot turn it off. That is why this sign is powerful. It bypasses her filters. It bypasses your doubts. It gives you a clear signal that your masculine energy is reaching her, stirring her, affecting her. So be the man who pays attention, not obsessively, but intentionally. Don't analyze her like a science project. That kills the vibe. Just be present, be grounded, be aware. That is what a high-value man does. Attraction is rarely loud. It starts in the small, unguarded, barely noticeable reactions. And when you learn to read those signs, you don't chase, you choose. You don't guess, you understand. You don't force, you flow. And that is the true secret behind how high-quality men attract women without ever needing to try too hard. 2. She's hot, then cold. When a woman shows interest one day and withdraws the next, many men instantly assume the worst. But this hot then cold rhythm is rarely a signal of fading attraction. More often, it's a form of emotional regulation, a protective instinct, a pacing mechanism, and your job as a man with an iron mind is to remain steady, composed, and unshaken because steadiness communicates strength, and strength communicates certainty, and certainty is magnetic. One day, she may text you like you're the most fascinating force to enter her life, and the next day she vanishes into silence, leaving you wondering what shifted, but nothing truly shifted. She is simply managing her feelings, managing her vulnerability, managing the pace at which she lets herself care, and this is where Old Stoic wisdom becomes your greatest ally, because as Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events, and modern attraction psychology proves this. True every single day. She's not rejecting you. She's regulating herself, protecting her emotional investment, ensuring she doesn't sprint faster than she is ready to run. And this means you must not panic. You must not chase frantically. You must not double text in desperation, and you must not let fear dictate your next move because fear makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability weakens your frame, while stoicism win behaviors fortify it. The truth is simple. When she pulls back, she is often watching how you respond under pressure, watching whether you stay centered, watching whether you embody masculine consistency or collapse into anxious overthinking. And your response determines the direction of the entire connection. Stay consistent. Match her pace. Hold your ground. Do not disappear entirely, but do not flood her phone looking for reassurance. Instead, maintain the calm rhythm of a man who trusts himself, trusts the process, and trusts that genuine interest doesn't vanish overnight. This is not manipulation. This is emotional maturity. Women want to feel safe with the man they're drawn to, and safety is created by emotional steadiness, not frantic pursuit. As Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself, and that mastery is what makes you mentally untouchable. A man with an iron mind who moves through uncertainty with the quiet confidence of someone who has mastered his inner world. In modern life, where messages move fast, emotions get amplified, and insecurities get triggered instantly, men who embody Old Stoic wisdom stand out like a lighthouse in a storm, and she notices it. Trust me, she notices the man who doesn't waver. When she goes cold temporarily, your instinct might be to overreact, but remind yourself that attraction often grows in the space between interactions, not in constant contact. Give her that space. Let the moment breathe. Let her feel the contrast between your presence and your absence. A man who understands this rhythm becomes powerful because he is no longer controlled by impulse. He becomes the type of man who wins emotionally, the embodiment of Stoicism win in action. The type of man who doesn't chase validation because he already carries self-validation within. Your steadiness becomes the test you pass simply by staying aligned with who you are. Your calm becomes the message. Your patience becomes the proof of strength. Women feel this energy. They relax into it. They trust it. They lean toward it. As Seneca wrote, the greatest remedy for anger is delay, and likewise, the greatest remedy for anxiety in dating is patience supported by confidence. So when she pulls back, don't collapse, rise. When she grows quiet, don't spiral, center yourself. When she tests your steadiness, don't flinch, demonstrate it. Modern men win not by reacting, but by responding with purpose, clarity, and emotional discipline. This is how you master attraction, how you master your emotions, how you master your relationships, and ultimately how you master your life. Hold the line, stay the course, and operate with an iron mind grounded in Old Stoic wisdom so you become the man who moves forward with intention, not insecurity. Remember, she's not looking for perfection. She's looking for someone steady enough to stand firm while she sorts through her own emotions. That steadiness is power. That steadiness is presence. That steadiness is how you win, not by force, but by composure, not by pressure, but by patience, not by chasing, but by leading yourself. Become that man, embody that mindset, and you won't just attract her, you'll attract the life you want, because when you master yourself, everything else begins to align. That is the iron principle, the Stoicism win path, the essence of Old Stoic wisdom applied to modern connection. And it's the way men rise above noise, confusion, and emotion to claim their victory in relationships and in life. 1. Her feet tell the truth. Here's the thing most men never get told straight, and you must hear it clearly. Attraction doesn't start with words. It leaks out through the body long before the mouth ever catches up. And one of the most honest messengers is something almost everyone ignores: her feet. Don't laugh. Be attentive. That is where instinct shows itself. Feet point where interest goes, not where politeness pretends to be. If her shoulders are angled away, her smile is polite, her words are safe, but her toes quietly aim in your direction. That isn't an accident. That's female psychology at work, because the subconscious doesn't bother to lie about what feels good. You must understand this if you want to grasp real psychology tricks, because attraction is rarely announced, it's revealed. When her feet stay oriented toward you, especially when nothing requires them to be, that signals comfort, curiosity, and a pull she may not even recognize yet. On the other hand, don't ignore the reverse signal either. Be honest with yourself. If her feet drift toward the door, the hallway, the open space behind her, that's not mystery, that's clarity. She wants distance. She wants movement away. Don't chase that. Don't argue with it. Respect it. That is how grounded men behave. Now, notice how this becomes even more revealing in group settings, where social pressure is high and words are filtered. If she subtly inches closer to you while keeping her feet aligned in your direction, even while talking to others, that combination of proximity and orientation tells you something powerful: attraction plus safety. That matters. Female psychology is deeply tied to comfort, and comfort is what allows attraction to breathe. Don't confuse loud flirting with genuine interest. Sometimes interest is quiet, physical, and precise. And here's where many men misread the moment: the goodbye. Watch closely. The awkward goodbye syndrome is real. When a woman is drawn to a man, she often becomes clumsy at the end of the interaction. Words tangle. Timing feels off. She leaves too fast or lingers too long. That awkwardness isn't rejection. Be calm. Nervousness is interest. Indifference is silence. If she truly didn't care, the goodbye would be smooth, forgettable, and emotionally flat. But when attraction is present, self-awareness spikes, and suddenly she worries about how she came across, how she sounded, how she'll be remembered. That's why a follow-up message like, "Sorry I didn't say goodbye properly," is not small talk, it's reassurance seeking. That is attraction mixed with anxiety, and it's one of the clearest signals you'll ever receive if you know how to read it. Don't dismiss it. Don't overreact to it either. Be steady. That steadiness is what keeps her interest growing. This is where men often sabotage themselves by talking too much, explaining too much, or trying to lock things down too fast. Don't. Let the signal breathe. Let her feel safe enough to lean in emotionally, the same way her feet already have physically. Understanding these subtle cues isn't manipulation, it's awareness, and awareness is the foundation of healthy connection. These psychology tricks aren't about control, they're about clarity. When you see where her body naturally wants to be, you stop guessing, you stop projecting, and you stop forcing outcomes. That alone changes how women respond to you. And here's the deeper truth you must accept. Attraction doesn't need to be chased. It needs to be recognized and respected. When you understand female psychology, you move differently. You speak less, but mean more. You listen with your eyes, not just your ears. And that's how you begin to understand how to fall in love without losing yourself, because real connection isn't built on pressure, it's built on presence. Be present. Be observant. Be grounded. When you master how to fall in love through awareness instead of urgency, women feel it, even if they can't explain it. And that is the quiet power behind all effective psychology tricks, knowing when interest is there, knowing when it's not, and having the discipline to act accordingly. Attraction is not a math problem you solve by counting signs. It's emotional, it's contextual, and most of the time it's subtle on purpose. Women don't hide interest because they're playing games, they do it because they're human. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, and fear of looking vulnerable all shape how attraction is expressed. That's why words can be misleading, but behavior almost never is. So here's the shift I want you to make. Stop asking yourself, "Does she like me?" That question keeps you stuck in your head. Start asking, "Does she treat me differently than she treats everyone else?" Look for patterns over time. Look for moments where the rules bend just a little when it comes to you. Extra attention, changed tone, lingering conversations, small acts of consideration, those things don't happen randomly. Patterns reveal truth. Context reveals desire. And remember this part because it matters. Attraction is a slow burn. It grows through curiosity, emotional contrast, and a bit of tension. If she's giving subtle signals, she's often already waiting to see what you do next. Not because she wants you to rush, but because attraction needs movement to stay alive. Here's the sincere advice I'll leave you with. When you see consistent signals and feel that quiet emotional pull, don't freeze. Confidence doesn't mean forcing anything, it means being decisive and respectful. Make your move calmly. Say what you feel without pressure. Attraction has an expiration date, and hesitation can kill something that was quietly growing. Thanks for spending your time here. Trust what you observe, act with clarity, and don't ignore the moments that matter. I'll see you in the next video.